Welcome to Better with Bri Renee, the podcast where we get real, get honest, and get better, one conversation at a time. Here we talk all things family, faith, finances, and everything that just feels good to the soul. This is your safe space to grow, to heal, and to elevate. Because better isn't about being perfect, it's about being intentional. So whether you're working on your mindset, your money, or your relationships, you're in the right place. So let's keep it real, keep it light, and most importantly, keep getting better. Because better starts with you, starts with us. It starts with Better with Bri Renee. Welcome, you guys. If you don't know, my show is called Better with Bri Renee, and this is the podcast where we don't just chase better, we become better. And so I like to bring on guests who have overcome amazing things in their lives, accomplished amazing things, and are doing better in every form of the way. You know what I mean? And so if you don't know this girl boss sitting up here, let me give you a little intro. Miss Stormi Steele is a serial entrepreneur, a beauty innovator, and the founder and CEO of Canvas Beauty brand. Now, she is raised in DeKalb, Mississippi. Is that how you say it? Because I'm from Atlanta. You know, we DeKalb County. Okay. Yep. So DeKalb, Mississippi. And she left college to pursue cosmetology after a vivid dream revealed her brand's name and mission, you guys. And today's episode is one that you don't want to miss because she's a woman that has completely mastered the journey from small town dreaming to history making and global commerce. Okay, she's an absolute powerhouse entrepreneur, a reality TV star, a mother, and when the industry tried to count her out, she nearly lost everything. She didn't fold though, she pivoted. And she stepped into TikTok Live and made absolute history as the first creator to bring in over $1 million in a single live session. She is definitely the definition of turning a vision into a legacy. Welcome, Miss Stormi Steel.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. So, Stormi, you talked a lot about, you've been very vulnerable about how you dropped out of college with 23 credits left, which is almost done. Yeah. You had did most of the way, girl. And then you were like, but your business name and the formulas came to you in a dream. And that really stood out to me because maybe it's the Southern Black girl in me, but my grandma always told me like dreams mean something, and that's how God really talks to us. And that's how I knew to go into radio, because I used to have a reoccurring dream when I was in high school, seeing myself host and be on the radio. And I thought I was crazy, but to hear that this happened to you too, I'm like, no, God be talking to people in your dreams. So tell me about like what this dream was and how you knew this was it.
Well, for me, I was a college student. I had 23 credit hours left, of course, but it was a little deeper than that. I had got like really suicidal, and it was to the point where the same night that I had my first dream, which was to take the jump and start Canvas, I was contemplating like just ending everything. I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. And I ended up reaching for my Bible, and I don't remember what I read, but what it did do is bring me like a lot of peace. And I ended up going to sleep that night feeling a little bit more optimistic. But then around like 3 a.m.-ish, I woke up like out of a dream. And in that dream, like I knew the name of my business was going to be Canvas. I knew a mission statement. And then I had just got this desire from the dream, like, oh, girl, go do hair. And I never really, I would say, want to be a hairstylist. When I got out of high school, I ended up going to the military. It was my choice. And I really wanted to just stay in the military, but my mom and dad didn't want me to do it full time. So they pulled me and had me just go to college, junior college. My schedule was already made, so I really never had a chance to think about what I wanted to do with my life. So by the time I was near graduating, I was like, what am I gonna do? Because I didn't really sign up for this. So that dream brought me like so much peace to the point where I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna quit. I'm gonna drop out. And so that was the first dream. Yeah. And that put me on my journey with Canvas of being a hairstylist. And then I became a hairstylist. I became quite successful at it. And I used to do a lot of women hair who had like alopecia and they was trying to cover up problems. And I used to hate seeing, how they felt about their hair. It was to the point where, a lot of them wanted private appointments because they just were not comfortable. And I was like, I wish it was a way to change that for them. And that's when I started obsessing over like, I want to make a hair growth product. Like I love that chapter in school. Like I love everything about like the different phases of hair growth. And I just started like obsessing and reading so much about like how can, ingredients help, hair not only grow, but you retain the length. And then that's when I started like mixing up things and trying things. And I think the more I was engulfed in that, the more, it was on me like to an obsessive point. So when I would go to sleep, I'm thinking about things that I may have read or overlooked, and I wake up and I'm like researching it again. And then that's when I came up with the ingredients for my first product, which was my hair blossom serum. And then I ended up launching it on like Facebook. I had like 200 bottles and they sold out the first night. And I kind of just, went down that path sporadically.
That's a huge launch. 200 bottles of selling out, the first night, because you didn't have you had a clientele.
Yeah.
Right? So that you were selling mainly to your clientele.
Well, I wasn't really selling it at first. I was just using it on my customers' hair.
Okay.
And then we were documenting it. We were taking pictures. They were actually seeing like hair growth. They were seeing little fuzzies pop up. And then they would tell a friend, and their friends were like, oh, I want to buy it. And I'm like, well, I really don't sell it. Like, you got to come get your hair done, for that. Because it was also something that was proprietary to my salon experience. But then after so much pressure, I would say maybe about like a year or so of them saying, come on, come on.
We need this.
I was like, I'm going to make a little $200. Let me see what this do. I wasn't expecting to like sell out of those 200 bottles the first night. I had so many before and after pictures. I had posted them on Facebook, made a little post, and they ended up buying it.
And went up. So were you a kitchen beautician before you had that dream, the original dream while you were in school? Like, had you ever did hair before that dream?
I did hair in high school. So I was the kid in the summer doing hair.
Yeah, the kitchen beautician.
Yeah, like I used to braid people hair. The grown women come, they bring their kids. But I didn't do it like as an adult.
Okay.
Yeah, just braiding here and there in high school.
So you stepping out on faith after that dream was huge for you. Like, what was your family support? Like, did people actually see it? Like, okay, yeah, I could see that happening. Or were they like, sometimes parents, they want the best for you. So they're going to try to protect you as much as possible, but it might be deterring you from what you're supposed to be doing.
No, wasn't nobody fucking with it. Like, at all. Like, they was like, they thought I was crazy or something.
Yeah.
Like, where I'm from, it's like a very small town, so no stoplight town. So anything that's deemed out of the norm, like everybody, you're supposed to go to college, try to, the big dream for everybody is to become a doctor, be a lawyer, and then you become a nurse, or, then it goes to teacher, So it's like those are the success stories. Those are the norms where I'm from, and anything outside of that, is just considered like outlandish. Like I used to say stuff like, I want to be an actress, I want to be a model, I want to be a dancer, I want to do all this stuff. And I would be told, oh, you got to be more realistic. But somehow, like, even as a child who only had seen like people, what they deemed as real, I told myself, I was like, no, like people are doing it. I didn't get this out of thin air, and I just felt like, anything I could imagine could be real. Mm-hmm. And I just always operated from that mindset.
Yeah.
And I think the moment I started not operating from that mindset is when I ended up how I felt in college.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, like, what do you feel like was pivotal for you to keep you that battery in your back? Because every entrepreneur, every dreamer has had those moments. In the beginning, we're so full of optimism, right? You're like, I could do it. I know I can achieve this. God put this in my heart. But there's always those moments along the journey where doubt creeps in. How do you overcome that, especially when you don't necessarily have the major success yet, or, your family and everybody looking at you like you crazy, and you start to be like, well, maybe they was right. Did you have those moments? And if you did, what kept you going to overcome those?
Ooh, I just want to say, like, I had like crazy faith. Like, even when something was going wrong, like I just would never believe that what I was seeing in my brain wasn't what God had for me. Okay. I have a saying that I lean on to it. I say, like, nothing great comes from comfort zones. And there's something beautiful about being at the bottom, because the only way you got to go is up. Mm-hmm. Like, I always tell people, like, being there is like a beautiful place, because what you gonna lose? So anytime I like elevated for real, I was literally at my lowest. So I kind of never looked at that as a fearful place, and always looked at that as an opportunity to like go higher. So I think it's just a mindset. And I got to a point where you would start seeing the fruits of that mindset. Like, you would have a small win and you say, oh, see, I ain't crazy. It's all right. I'm gonna be all right. It's gonna do good. And then you just wake up every day and you find another way to win again, even if it's a small one, because at the end of the day, a win is a win. So, and I look at things too, like if something negative happens to me, I know like it's all a matter of how I look at it. Like ain't nothing ever happening to me. Like everything gotta be happening for me. It's just something that I'm not understanding at the moment. So I trained myself early on to like think that way, because every time, like I said, I was at my lowest, something good came out of it.
Do you feel like that's something that can be taught, or do you feel like that's a discipline? Like every entrepreneur starting out, either you got to have that crazy faith in you, or you can build it up as you go along.
I think experience can help develop that, but I really feel like it's a mindset too, because a lot of people, you know, they let life get them, you know, and they can't come back from it. It's like no matter how you, because I've talked to a lot of people, you know, they'll come to me because I'm so transparent with my story, and I've tried to say no, like you just got to be able to find the lesson in it. You know what I'm saying? The moment you can find that, and the moment you can push past that, like you can do anything. So I would just say it's a matter of experience, but it's also a matter of like training your brain to like focus on the good. Because I mean, we got choices, good, bad, like how you want to see it.
You can use it to knock you down, or you could use it to help you fuel you.
Yeah.
Y'all, can we get real for a second? Therapy isn't just for when you're depressed or going through a major crisis. Therapy is a safe space where you get guided help from experts who actually understand you. It's about self-awareness, growth, and becoming a better version of yourself. And that's something we all should celebrate. When I recently started therapy, I started learning things about myself that I've never realized before, like how I process my emotions and how they actually feel inside my body, and how I can better self-regulate difficult times. That's why I love BetterHelp. Their platform makes it easy to connect with licensed professionals, schedule sessions that fit into your life and your schedule, and actually work through what's holding you back. And here's a bonus. BetterHelp accepts HSA and FSA cards, so you can use your benefits before they expire. In 2024 alone, over 137,000 people use their HSA or FSA to prioritize their mental health. Listen, don't miss out. If you're ready to invest in yourself, your relationships, and your peace of mind, go to my direct link. I'll link it below, and you can get 10% off your first month. Therapy isn't weakness. It's strength. And it's one of the best moves you can make for yourself. You spoke about how like Facebook was obviously pivotal with your first selling of a product, right? But was Instagram and TikTok around during that time when you first sold those 200 bottles?
They were. Well, not TikTok. And if it was, I ain't know about it.
Yeah.
But Instagram was, but I wasn't as active on Instagram at that time as in Facebook, and the year was like 2015.
Okay, yeah. So I don't think TikTok was around then, but with Instagram, I know a lot of service providers have really learned the power of using social media now to grow their brand, not even as just selling products, but even as a service provider. So what was it about social media that you took to and was like, oh, wait a minute, this could be another tool or another revenue stream?
I wasn't even looking at social media like that in the beginning. I would just like start off by posting the work that I did for the day and talking about, you know, my day and really using it as an avenue for storytelling. So after that was a thing that was helping grow my business, like get more clients in the chair to do their hair because they see me do somebody else's hair and they be like, oh, I want to book that. That's when, you know, I decided, okay, maybe I could just use it too to talk about the product. So I always use like social media for like storytelling and like sharing what I love. And then through that, that's when like opportunities and like clients and bookings came.
But you have had like crazy viral success. Do you feel like now a lot of entrepreneurs or brand owners are chasing that virality for their brand? And do you feel like that's hurting them or helping them?
I feel like exposure should be any entrepreneur's goal, right? I was trying to go viral when I went viral, and it was to the point where I would wake up and be like, yo, I'm finna get on TikTok, because I wasn't on TikTok before. And I was like, I'm gonna go viral. I was like, I'm gonna make my videos, I'm gonna go viral. Everybody was like, girl, it's not that easy. And I was like, I ain't got no other choice.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going viral. And I ended up going viral the first week. So I would say,
period,
anybody who put their mind to something, if you feel that in your soul, like go for it. Like it can't be bad. Like especially when you want exposure for your business.
You feel like if you feel like you can go viral, it can happen.
Yeah.
Now, if a person if we're throwing away like divine ideas because we're too scared or the discomfort of jumping, what advice would you give to somebody in that journey? Like, okay, I think I want to do something, or I think I want to go viral, or I think I want to post more on my brand, or I feel like I have this burning desire in me, but I'm afraid. What and they haven't even failed yet. What advice would you give to that person?
You got to do it scared, because if you don't, you know what the outcome is going to be. Nothing's going to happen. Like, what's the worst that you can do? I always tell people, anytime you're scared to do something, always just show up and give your best, because that's the best you can do.
Yeah.
And I always tell people too, like, whenever a lot of people, they're scared because they think they don't have enough to get done what's in their brain. I say that, especially when you're at the bottom, like you got to learn to, you know how that saying where it said, God says, you got to learn how to manage and what you have in order to have more. I use that in my business. I use that for my whole life. Like, my favorite like saying is, you don't have to have a lot of resources. You got to know how to be resourceful. Because if God puts something on your spirit, he puts something in your heart, then it's for you. He gave you everything you need to get it done.
You already have it.
Yeah. But if you can't see that, why would he give you more?
Yeah.
So jump.
Gave me chill bumps.
Just jump.
Yeah, I literally wrote that on a sticky note on my mirror in my bathroom probably 2 weeks ago. You have everything you need right now.
Like, and everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna wait, or I ain't ready yet. And it's like, you're gonna never be ready, because he gotta see that you're gonna do good with what he already gave you. And sometimes that's just a vision. And then that's when the opportunities come. That's when the doors open. That's when the possibilities become abundant. But you'll never know if you never move.
If you don't take that first step.
Yep.
Now, Stormy, you've been very transparent with your audience about when Canvas Beauty faced near bankruptcy after your initial viral wave. So you went viral and then you had some financial issues with bankruptcy, but you didn't hide that at all. You shared the struggle the entire way. Now, if a business is struggling, do you feel like, especially with our businesses, like, let's be real, do you feel like we have more pressure on our business, Black businesses, to be more transparent than other businesses do? Because I don't know if Walmart ever had financial issues, or, you know what I mean? But do you feel like we are obligated to a higher standard of transparency? And is that fair?
I wouldn't say that we're obligated to a higher standard of transparency, because I know a lot of people who going through shit and they'll never be transparent about it. I feel like with Black businesses, it's almost like it's embarrassing if you fucking fail.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, we like you just said, we don't know what it took for Walmart to become Walmart, Amazon to become Amazon. And the moment we do, and that's why I was so passionate about sharing my story, because I knew, like, ain't nothing wrong with this. Yeah. Like, why wouldn't I? Like, this is the truth. Like, this is honesty, and it actually felt therapeutic. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like I had to live a lie. Yeah. And I feel like more people should be doing this, because everybody in business, they'll show you the good shit. Yeah. They'll show you the wins. I'm like, if I can win, I can lose too. But I can win again too. Yeah. And I wanna document this. I wanna talk about this. I just feel like when we are vulnerable enough to share, that's when everybody has something negative to say. And I wish it wasn't like that for Black entrepreneurs, because we have it the hardest in business, because a lot of us are doing this shit with no prerequisite. Ain't nobody taught us nothing.
Or we didn't come from long lines of family members who had been running this company forever. Yeah.
We don't have nobody to call if we need a little, room or a
couple $100,000.
We don't have that. Yeah. So it's like, we should be giving ourselves the most grace, and we should be supporting ourselves the most.
And people feel like you get that, like, oh, I'm scared to let people in my business, or, did you ever have that fear of being transparent because you were scared to let people know that you were failing?
I've never won like that. Like, my whole story has been about just being an open book and being authentic. Like, most people won't want to talk about, oh, I wanted to commit suicide. Most people won't want to tell you that. Yeah. That's been a part of my story from day one. Mm-hmm. So I always felt like, it's another quote that I live by, and it's like, your obedience is connected to so many other people's destiny. We don't have our journeys, we don't have our stories, we don't have our experiences for them to just be ours, because if they are, how can they help the next person? How can we be, who we are created to be without sharing that, so somebody can become who they were created to be? I was like, I know it's a lot of people who can probably resonate with this, and they may need that, know?
Yeah, to know, like, okay, if Stormy overcame, being depressed or suicidal, I know I can. Or if she made millions of dollars and then went bankrupt and then bounced back, I know I can. Because it's a lot of Black women, especially entrepreneurs, that are dealing with that right now, and they're afraid because, like you said, social media, that's when all the negativity come.
Yep.
Everybody throwing rocks and eggs, and mind you ain't got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. You know, you don't have nothing that you've actually built. And so I feel like if you haven't been in the field to build something for real, how can you even criticize what somebody won or lost because you still sitting on the sideline?
I think that's a lot of people too, that they own fear or they own, need to feel good about the decisions that they chose for their own life. Yeah.
Just like comfort, trying to stay comfortable. Who do you think is actually carrying the heavier accountability load, that the women trying to keep their business reputation spotless, or the ones that are being transparent about the ups and the downs? Because there are a few of you, successful businesswomen I know, like you, and even Pinky Cole right now has been in the industry, in the news a lot for Slutty Vegan and being bankrupt. But do you feel like it's harder to carry the reputation of being spotless or to be transparent?
I would say to be spotless, because that's a lot to keep up with. Ain't nobody here perfect. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody had a perfect journey. Ain't nobody got a perfect life. So trying to keep everything clean like that, like it got to be a lot of pressure, and it got to be hard. Like I can imagine like how stressful that would be, because at no point can you ever, just feel comfortable and safe and being able to be vulnerable or take accountability sometimes even. So I would say like the person who's trying to be perfect or spotless.
And as a woman, a Black woman in the beauty industry with a mega brand right now, how do you feel like, what are some of the biggest obstacles that you feel like you've struggled as you've tried to grow and maximize your brand?
I would say for me, it's just not having a bird's eye view, not being able to know what's this next step ahead, Like in business, I wish I knew how to play chess, but like I learn every day, and I learn through experience. And I would say that has been the biggest challenge, because if I knew certain things without having to have an experience to teach it to me, I could play the game a lot better.
Or quicker or faster.
Yeah.
Looking for the perfect space to bring your vision to life? Welcome to Visionaire Production Studios, where creativity meets capability. With over 10 dynamic sets, including a fully equipped kitchen set, we're built for creators, brands, and dreamers who don't just want content, they want cinema. Whether you're shooting a podcast, cooking show, campaign, or content series, we've got the space and the team to help you make magic and bring any vision to life. If you can see it, we can help you shoot it. Let's turn your vision into production at Visionaire Production Studios. What's one of those experiences that taught you that lesson that you like, dang, I wish younger Stormy or baby Canvas brand knew that?
I would say one of the pivotal ones is what helped me, I would say helped me, but caused me to have a hard time in 2022, and that was not knowing how to hire the proper people, and knowing how to lay out business structure and foundation to support what I built. So I would think that would be the biggest one.
Yeah, with hiring did you ever go through that phase? I know a lot of Black women, especially, or Black businesses, when we start to grow, we want to hire family, we want to hire friends or people that we know, or, Lil Susie from down the block. Like, did you have that and then have to go through that, like, okay, this not going to work out phase?
I done did it all. Like, I got some family members who are on my team and amazing. I got some I had to send back home. So,
How was that?
Bye.
Yeah.
It was all right. You learn from it. It wasn't that bad, though. I would say what I learned in that is I don't think it got anything to do with friends or family. I just think it's a people thing. And some advice that I got, it was from my attorney. It was like, you let people be who they are. And if a person is a snake, you let them be a snake. You just got to identify what kind of snake they are. Because if you know what kind of snake you're dealing with, you know how to handle any room, and you always make sure your paperwork and how you're working with people is in place to protect yourself. That's the best thing you can do. You just, because at the end of the day, a person is going to be a person, and people change.
Yeah.
So you may come in and with someone and y'all at the top of the world, the closest ever, that may change 3 years down the line. So the best thing you can do is protect yourself, legally, with the people that you have around you, and also like learn how to identify the type of snake you're dealing with.
Yeah. And then, like you said, just letting them be. I think some of my issues have been a lot of women. Sometimes we want to control or dictate how somebody gonna move and try to prevent. If I do
Just
this, then that.
watch.
Yeah. But it's like, gotta let them just be them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with your success on TikTok, you have, like, of course, made so massive success with TikTok Live. I feel like every time I get on TikTok, a Canvas Live come up, whether it's you or people working there selling the brands or other. But you have also, what I thought was so dope, just following your journey, is that you showed other women, you began to show other entrepreneurs how they could make money on live like this. And I feel like a lot of people, once they reach success, they're scared to give somebody else the blueprint or let them know the secrets. So this, like, this is how I did it. This is script. This is how, you make this work. Do you feel like that is, or why do you feel like so open about giving out the secrets to being successful on TikTok Live? Did you feel encouraged to do that, or like where did that come from? Because a lot of people gatekeep.
My whole journey, I've always wished I had help. Like, I always wish somebody would tell me what I didn't know. And I was the one who was being, people were gatekeeping things for me. Mm-hmm. And I always said if I was ever in the opportunity to share, I would. And with TikTok, with being the first and basically, being a pioneer to help even develop the landscape of live selling, like, I just felt like it was my duty to make sure that other people would be in on that too. Because TikTok live selling is not a place, where it's meant for one person to win. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of people are supposed to win. Like, it's massive. There's a lot of people on the platform, and the truth is we all can win. And so, being that platform changed my life, TikTok like really changed everything about my life at the time. It was like, I just felt the need to pull back and share what I knew and what I learned with other people. Like, It was just so important to me.
Yeah. And then I see you even took it a step further and like started to build out sets in a whole environment for people to come. How has that journey been? Have you felt like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have did this, or maybe I got in over my head? Because now you're venturing away from just being a beauty brand to now you're a coach. Oh. Or do you look at it like that?
No, because I mean, it's something I can't speak on. It was announced here at Essence earlier, but we're doing a lot more when it comes to live selling. Like, the goal is to not only just help business entrepreneurs like build their business on TikTok, but also help your moms, your dads, your 9-to-5ers be able to have a different way to generate income on the platform. Because that's the beauty of live selling. Like, it's not just for brands to sell. Like, affiliates actually can be live sellers of other people's product and make money too. Like, we have affiliates within our Canvas agency, and a lot of them are bringing home like $20,000-$30,000 a month straight to them.
That's crazy. I'm about to listen.
Yeah, so when I say like we're gonna change some lives with TikTok and live selling, so
and that's such a huge blessing. Like, that's really changing somebody's life, $20,000-$30,000 a month. And then think about it. They didn't have to go through the grunt work of creating a product and testing and
that's
shipping.
That's the beauty of it. It's for everybody. It's literally for everybody.
That's amazing. Do you feel like when a person is, say somebody, an average Joe person is looking for a company to purchase or brand to purchase from, or even to support on TikTok, do you feel like the TikTok shop ratings should be their first filter of like the brand's worth? Or how do they know? Like, if I never had heard of Canvas, how would I know that like this is a solid brand, or I should even become an affiliate or a seller for this brand? What are some things that people can look out for?
I would say like the platform makes it really easy to do it, because most of the time, especially with like smaller brands and bigger ones too, they're excited to like give free samples to try the product. So I would never base it on like the brand. Now, if you go in with a strategy and say, I want to be affiliated with a product that I know is going to convert for me, that's good to do too. But you also could be someone to put a smaller brand on the map, and you be the first one to like get all the leads for that item too. So I would say it's more so identifying a product that you resonate with the most, mm-hmm. and that you feel you have a natural affinity for to like sell through authentically. Mm-hmm. I would that would be my goal.
I want to know for sure. I always ask every guest that comes on Better, what's something that you want to be better at in life right now?
I want to be better at giving up control. Like, even before I came here, was I late? I was late.
No.
I probably was late. I was late because I was out there trying to work my booth.
And you were trying to work the booth, even though you got people to work.
Like, you know, like my brain just is always like working overtime, and I feel like, you know, I can add value in so many places, and I'm always overextending myself, and then I find myself at the end of the day being like, damn, but what did Stormy get out of it? And it's like, I want to be better at that.
You would be both. And I don't know why we do that, because if you step away sometimes, you'll see people will figure it out, or it'll still get done without your stress or you having to micromanage.
Yeah.
You know, so we both can be better at that. What who pours into Stormy? Or what how do you fill your cup? Like, you are working so much. You're on reality TV. You're a public figure. You're teaching women and changing lives through TikTok. What is most fulfilling, or how do you relax, and how do you feel better?
Honestly, I feel good like when I'm at home. Like, that's my place of peace. You know, my husband there, my baby's there, animals. It's just like I get to just relish in like being able to just relax. Like, I'm one of them people, I like simple stuff. I grew up in the country, barefoot, dirt roads. Like, so anytime I can just like relax and enjoy that, like, that's when I'm my happiest and most fulfilled.
Me and my boyfriend was just talking about that, how we love like listening to the cicadas. You know, the loud bugs at night. Like, that's just so peaceful. Yeah.
Well, on our side is frogs.
Oh, y'all got frogs?
They loud as hell. Yeah, they so loud.
What do you say to the woman who feels like she has to choose between chasing a career or having a family?
I feel like that's easy.
Okay.
Well, let me be fair. It was easy for me because my husband make it easy while he over there doing what he doing.
Okay, shout out to the husband.
It really do. So that's easy for me. Like, it's a like, I got a really good work home balance. So I really I would say blessed in that department. Mm-hmm. But I've never had to deal with the hardships that could come with trying to find the balance of doing both. So I don't want to speak to anybody else's experience. I can only speak to mine, because I'm pretty sure for some people that can be hard.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me for this special episode of Better with Bri Renee right here on Essence. This is Stormy. Please let them know where they can find you, your brand, support, anything that you want to shout out. Let them know so they can, follow.
Awesome. I'm on TikTok at Canvas Beauty Brand, Instagram, Canvas Beauty Brand, and our website is www.canvasbeautybrand.com.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you.
I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Essence.